It was 10:30 at night at Orlando International Airport. I was waiting for my husband. He was coming to get me. But my flight got in early, and I realized I had a little time. I went back in, up the escalator, through the arches. I found the ladies' room, fixed myself up, came back out, and sat down and waited. Half an hour later, I was still waiting. I pulled out my cell phone and called home. I thought maybe he fell asleep. There was no answer. I couldn't call him on his cell phone because he was a cell phone holdout. So I waited a little more. Had another half an hour passed, and I got really scared. I thought, maybe something happened to him. Maybe he's been in an accident. Maybe he's had a heart attack and he's lying dead on the floor. And I grabbed a cab and I went home. The cab dropped me off. I started walking up my driveway. The car was gone. Okay, he's not lying dead of a heart attack on the floor. I got almost up the path and I saw headlights turn into my driveway. It was my husband's car. I went running. I knew something terrible had happened. I prepared myself. He was going to be bloody. He was going to be bandaged. He was going to be bruised. He opened the door. He stepped out. He was just fine. Not a scratch on him. And I was so angry. Where were you? He looked at me. Where were you? He said. I was at the airport waiting for you. Well, I was at the airport waiting for you. It got very ugly. Some of the neighbors' lights went on. So we took it in the house. My husband was so good at solving problems, resolving issues, but there was no way out of this. We both swore we were in the right place at the right time. There was no reconciling it. And the battle raged on. It got uglier and uglier. And all of a sudden, he stopped mid-sentence. He looked at me and said, I know what happened. One of us fell into a black hole. Really, Robert? That's what you got? A black hole? He said, yes, it's true. I've read about it on the internet. It's this duplicated reality. You slide right into it. You don't even know you've gone anywhere. You know, I wasn't buying it. But it was kind of nice to have an end to this quarrel. So I let him go on. And before long, we were comparing the realities. Did you see the coquina planters? Yes, I saw the coquina planters. Did you see that the cops were wearing chartreuse vests? Yes, I saw they were wearing chartreuse vests. Did you see that red rescue truck right in the middle lane? There was no red rescue truck right in the middle lane. I was sure of that. I had been up and down that stretch. I knew every inch of it. So I began to think, where did I go? I was outside. I went back in up the escalator to found the ladies' room. Then I came back out the doors and I never went down an escalator. And I started remembering the scene. It went through my mind like a movie. Cars jockeying for space next to the curb, doors opening, people stepping out, taking suitcases out of their cars, waving goodbye, blowing kisses. I they had come back out to departing flights, not arriving flights. The fault was all mine. One big, terrible, horrible mistake. Oh, but I had options. I could apologize for all the horrible things I called him, or I could let him go on thinking it was a black hole. No harm. But I realized if I did that, I would be undermining 30 years of marriage, of trust, loving trust, the foundation of our relationship. I knew what I had to do. I looked at him and I said, Robert, it was a black hole. And he got a goofy grin on his face and he said, welcome home.